Hey everyone. So, largely this chapter focused on the inciting events that gave rise to Yakuto's legend as a hero. And right out of the gate, one thing I loved about this chapter is showing just how bleak the whole situation in the human world was. Like, it gave us like a full-on view of the other side of the coin, that it wasn't just fate that had people turn to Elfid, but circumstance. That people were so desperate for their lives to improve that they turned to a higher power for guidance. That feeling of destitution allowed them to walk right into Elfid's arms, and then comes along Yakuto to rip the mask off all of it. Which, yeah, on that note, I guess it truly wasn't doesn't matter what universe Aragorn's in. He's still an absolute piece of shit that needs his ass beat, which he did get, thankfully. But I also like how seeing Aragorn here as also adds onto an even bigger wrinkle to this, which is that, shocker, not shocker, Elfid's been using graduates from Dead Rock as enforcers. In fact, the whole this chapter basically revealed the whole mission statement of the school is to breed enforcers to help him like subjugate humanity. Which, yeah, I wonder how the rest of Dead Rock would feel if that got back to them. I imagine something like this would at worst for Elfid basically have the whole school like revolting against him, or at best it would it would result or or it would result in a civil war kind of thing. Or maybe, yeah, it's the other way around. At worst, the worst, it would cause a civil war at the school itself, and at best it would have the entire school revolting against them. So yeah, it's like, I wonder what would happen if the school were told about that and what their reaction would be. Now, if there's one thing I did have reservations about in this chapter, it's that it's with the reveal that throughout the battle with Aragorn, Yakuto had managed to regain his power back, and my mileage on how I feel about this turn is very much dependent on how much of Yakuto's power he's regained in the present. If he's fully regained control of all of his power, then yeah, it feels like he got it back all a little too quick. But if this is like what I think it is, which is that he's only regained a small portion of his power, at least just enough to create a Dragon Fist, then I'm actually okay with this turn, as it gives Yakuto more of a path to slowly but surely regain his full strength, leading up to the final battle with Elfid, which the latter does feel like what Mashima is going for, I think. But it was still a bit of a whiplash seeing him regain his power that soon. It does bring up the question, though, was Yakuto the only one to regain his powers, or did the others as well? And they're just waiting to draw. They're just not wanting to draw attention to themselves. I'm guessing a little bit of both, because I don't think Lip would have any powers after what happened. But I can see a scenario where the others would have regained their abilities with after reuniting with Yakuto, and him having trained them how to regain their powers in a way, or told them how or something. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there is a beautiful irony that a demon is what's kept the world in bond, and yet it's world in bondage, and yet it's also a demon that may just set the world free from that control as well. And the even greater irony is that in my mind is that for as much as Yakuto broke the deception, he is in his own way also deceiving the world by adopting the moniker of this hero to hide the fact that he himself is also a demon. At least that's what seems to be insinuation here. Even if he has no intention of harming humans, it will be interesting to see how long Yakuto can keep going with this before it kind of blows up in his face. Because mark my words, there will come a point where Alpha does flip the script on Yakuto. In fact, now more than ever, that whole pointed concentration of Alphid's power being in that one place feels like one giant trap waiting to be sprung. And when that trap is sprung, oh boy, the whole thing is gonna come. The whole thing is gonna come crumbling down. I feel like maybe it's just me and being a little bit just being a little bit skeptical. But yeah, I don't, as much as so far as good as everything feels, it's like when's the point when it's going to come crumbling down. Unfortunately, I think it might be crumbling down a little sooner than we think it is. It's just it's just a matter of when it finally all does. um, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this video. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe from Blue Sky, and with Crunchyroll. Be sure to notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and share it around, guys. Dark Knight, everybody, signing off. Later, everyone.